So it's the middle of the day, and I wanted to get on here and talk about something that a friend and I were talking about earlier. She really got me thinking about it and wondering exactly what it means in the specific context that we were talking about. So I wanted to kind of go over what I feel about projection, and when it comes to relationships. And it could be any relationship, relationship with family, relationship with, like a love relationship. And more specifically with those who have narcissistic attributes. The thing about narcissism is a lot of things that we do, as a narcissist, we don't even realize it. And that brings me to the definition that I found. There were several when it comes to projection or projecting. This one specifically, it says project, to transfer or attribute one's own emotion or desire to another, especially unconsciously. So a lot of times somebody with narcissism or on the spectrum, or with those qualities, don't even realize that they're doing these things. But someone who's been there, was married to 3 narcissists, has been really hurt and has overcome that narcissism from others. I've also learned to watch myself, not be passive aggressive, try to speak my truth as soon as I can with somebody. I know, raising my kids, a lot of times I was that passive aggressive parent. And a lot of times I did project onto them my hurts, and sometimes I still catch myself doing that. So it's a work in progress. And I think once you realize that you're doing it and you're trying to correct it, it's beautiful. So if you are one of those, then continue doing that. But getting back to what projecting means, specifically in a relationship with somebody, a love relationship, a lot of times we bring hurt from from a past relationship, and in order to get back at somebody from the past relationship, we project that pain, possibly unconsciously, onto the next person. And that, it's good to realize that you're doing that and correct it. So if you are somebody who's done that and is doing that, and you're trying to be a better person and you're in a current relationship, then, realize what you're doing and correct it. I mean, that's how we learn and grow. As a mother, I'm learning to do that with my kids. Like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry that I lashed out or projected that pain from whatever situation I'm going through. And I apologize. I'm trying to get it right, and I'm working on it, So another example is if you're, mad at somebody at work or something like that, and you can bring it home to your family, projecting pain or projecting being pissed off from work and bringing it home to your family. I mean, you have to watch yourself at the door, so to speak, when it comes to that, because it can ruin your family. And, it tends to have an effect when you bring your work home and take it out on your kids or your husband or your wife, etc. I have a gray hair right here. Why? But projecting old pain, projecting your frustration, and if you're in that place where you don't even realize that you're doing it, and you haven't decided to change those behaviors, this video is going to come across as, she's a bitch. So call me what you want, but I'm going to call you out. I mean, it's just me now. I used to be this really passive person and try to give people the benefit of the doubt. You know, being an empath and being intuitive, I pretty much know shit, you know, but I don't come out and say it. And I've been that person that kind of has been like a passive person for people to figure it out for themselves. And eventually, once they do, it's kind of late. It's, you know, like, you know, I tried and you kept doing your shit. So, you know, how much more rope do you need? I mean, but now I'm trying to help those people not be so passive about it when they're screwing up. You know, and I expect that same, you know, that same from other people, from people that are close to me, from friends. If I call you a friend and I'm doing some shady bullshit, please call me out, because you know what? At the end of the day, I want to make sure that I've moved forward in making myself a better person. I don't ever want anybody to think that I think I'm perfect, or, you know, if you come across my video and I come across as, you know, this person that you know, talks a lot of shit and thinks that she's all that, well, that's, you have me wrong. But I just, you know, I take my experiences and I take, you know, my education. I'm a counselor. I take all those things and use them to help other people, and I'm learning to use them to help myself and take my own advice. 42 years old and just, you know, starting to really learn how to take my own advice. You know, so I don't, you know, I want to help people. That's just who I am. And I want to be present for people who, you know, if they trust me enough to talk to me about stuff, then, you know, I want to be that present help. But projecting onto other people, you know, once you realize what that means or what it looks like, you can take a step back and correct it. You know, don't beat yourself up over it. Don't, you know, think that it's the end of the world and everybody hates you, because not everybody is your enemy. Not everybody, you know, is out to hurt you, you know. And I know it's hard to, you know, it's hard to come to terms with that and realize that not everybody's out to hurt you. And that there really are people out there that have your best interest at heart and want to help or want to be your friend or want, you know, to talk to you. You know, they're not always, you know, I mean, but you also have to realize the things that you do too, you know. One thing I can't stand is someone who lies to me or lies about me or lies, you know, because first of all, I know shit. Like, I know if someone's lying to me. I just know it's not my fault. Believe me, I sometimes don't want to know. You know, I like to think people are good people, but, you know, if you lie to me, I'm gonna know. May not right away, but and if I love you, get prepared for me to call you out on your bullshit. Because, you know, and I'm just being frank. I'm a little giddy today. Got my house clean. I'm happy. I'm in a good mood. So just be careful about projecting your hurts and stuff onto other people. Because you never know when that next person is really going to be the one that you know, that cares about you and really wants to see you do better. You know, it's not fair to them that you're carrying old shit from another relationship or shit from work to your family, to your kids. It's not their fault. You know, if you have issues with somebody at work, you need to confront them face to face, just like your relationships, just like old past relationships. If they're unreachable, you have an ex who's unreachable, write them a freaking letter. Write them a letter. It's just therapy. Write them a letter and how you feel. You know? Do a video. something, try to get those things out and project them onto somebody, or not somebody, onto something else besides another person. Because you're only self-sabotaging. You're only destroying people that, could possibly be someone good in your life. So, not everybody's out to get you. Just remember that. There's people who really care, like myself. So, anyway, I may have another video later. I don't know if Kelly's up to a podcast tonight or not, but I will talk to you later. Have a good day.